The company E.H. Harms was well known on German motorways because of its red truck car transporters. The company was founded and managed by Egon Herbert Harms. Of course, Egon's ships, besides ferries, also car feeder ships, were also painted red. For years, Egon Harms and building contractor Johann Foss had been trying to relaunch the ferry connection between their German towns Cuxhaven and Brunsbüttel. In 1999, the time had finally come. With 3 former DSB ferries, 2 of them the so-called Princess ferries, the ferry service was opened. It was the fulfillment of a dream. It was not only Egon's dream, but much more. It was the dream of an entire region and its people. But already on the 8th of March 2001, 19 months after the start, this ferry line ended due to economic problems. The ships were laid up in Bremerhaven. There was great hope to save them from being scrapped. Hopes were not fulfilled. The end came in 2004. Egon traveled to Bremerhaven to show us his ships one last time. At the end of a long ship's life. About 5 months after these recordings were taken, the old Princess ferries were scrapped in India. Heba was formerly very well known in Denmark and belongs to the duo of the Princess ferries. The ship was ordered in 1962 by the Danish State Railway Company DSB. The building yard was Aalborg Shipyard in Denmark. Its length was 104.64 meters, the width 17.7 meters, and the draft 4.6 meters. The tonnage was 3,572 gross register tons. 1,500 passengers could be accommodated on board. She was christened Princess Elisabeth and delivered on March 16, 1964. Her appearance at that time corresponded to the typical dress of the ferries of the Danish state railways, black hull and white superstructure. Together with Princess Anne-Marie, she sailed on the inner Danish line between Aarhus and Kalundborg. Egon H. Harms was the founder of E.H. Harms Automobile Logistics and ship owner. A man who loved his ships, and even in the end, he was still enthusiastic about them. He did a lot of good. He helped children of the Chernobyl disaster. For this reason, the former president of the Soviet Union, Mikhail Gorbachev, visited Egon 3 times. This is the upper forward salon. Egon loved the old wooden interior and told during this invitation about his enthusiasm for all the details. For a short moment, he seemed to have forgotten that his engagement with these ships was unfortunately not successful. The captain's cabin. Here, it still looked as it did in the days of the Danish state railways. Many relics of the past could still be recognized and found. The bridge of the ship. Everything was still fully functional and operational. Here, the charm of the 1960s met the present of the 1990s and initial 2000s. No passengers should ever set foot on these wooden decks again. There used to be plenty of time to explore the ferry, as the crossing between Aarhus and Kalundborg took 3 hours. Believe it or not, at that time it was fast enough for DSB to call the line a fast route. This ship provided a glimpse into another time, when things were more leisurely and people were far less agitated than they are today. Eyewitnesses who traveled with the ship in their childhood report that the only excitement was exclusively whether to sail with Princess Elisabeth or Princess Anne-Marie. Egon gave us much of his time that day. Later, he invited us to a restaurant to talk about life of a car logistics tycoon. Egon passed away on the 5th of January 2006 in Bremen. In memory of his life, there is the sculpture Agamemnon in a courtyard at President Kennedy Square in Bremen. His life's work continues in BLG Logistics and in the shipping company KES, K-Line European Sea Highway Services.